Chapter 96. Small Wins That Kept Me Going. Some days the weight of everything felt unbearable. The pain, the fear, the loneliness, it all pressured down on me like a heavy storm cloud that wouldn't lift. On those days, even the smallest tasks felt monumental. Just getting out of bed, putting one foot in front of the other, and moving through the day was a huge, hard fought victory. Some mornings I didn't have the strength to do more than just survive, but that alone was a win worth recognizing. There were times when the voices in my head screamed louder than I could handle. The dubs, the memories, the anxieties swirling in a chaotic storm. On those days, blocking a hurtful message from someone, silencing a toxic notification, or stepping outside for a breath of fresh air with a major accomplishment. These moments might seem minor to others, but to me, they were lifeless. Tiny archers holding me steady when I felt like I might sink. The wins weren't always about action either. Sometimes just pausing, taking a deep breath with when my chest tightened, or choosing to stay present so instead of running away with a victory. Saying no to things that drained me, even when it was hard, was a sign of strength. Reaching out to a friend for a simple, "Hey, I'm struggling" message, or writing down my feelings to clear my mind, because tools for survival. These were my quiet battles, fought in silence, but no less important. What I learned was that not every success has to be loud or visible. Hearing doesn't happen only in big moments or dramatic breakthroughs. Most of the time, it happens in small, steady steps. Private moments of courage, little choices made in the face of fear, and tiny acts of self care build up to something greater. Those small wins created a foundation beneath me, one that helped me stand tall again. When I felt broken or lost, those small wins reminded me that I was still fighting, still moving forward, still holding on. They gave me hope when I thought there was none left. They were proof that I was stronger than my pain and my past, stronger than the dubs that whispered I wasn't enough. Even when progress seemed invisible, those tiny victories showed me I was healing. Looking back now, I realize how important those small wins were, not just for surviving, but for reclaiming my life. Each one was a step toward freedom, a sign that I was choosing myself over fear. They were my daily reminders that healing is messy, slow, and sometimes invisible, but always real. I've come to understand that healing isn't about perfection or rising through pain. It's about recognizing the power in each small step, bravery in simple continuing, in the grace in allowing myself to be human. It's about knowing that every day I choose to keep going, every moment I choose peace over chaos is a victory worth celebrating. So I honor those small wins. I celebrate every deep breath, every boundary set, every time I choose hope over despair, because without those small wins, I wouldn't be here today. There are the quiet victories that build strength I carry now, the strength to face tomorrow and keep moving forward one small step at a time. Chapter 97. How I see myself now. For a long time, I saw myself as weak. I saw someone fragile, someone who couldn't handle the pain or the chaos that came with it all. I thought the wounds I carry made me less than others, like I was broken beyond repair. I believe I was defined by the hurt, by the mistakes, by the times I fell down and couldn't find the strength to get back up. But now, when I looked in the mirror, I see someone very different. I see someone who survived. Survival isn't easy. It's not about just breathing or going through the motions. It's about facing the darkness parts of yourself and the world around you and still choosing to stand. It's about waking up each day with scars and still trying. It's about learning to keep walking, even when every step feels heavy. I see someone who is learning how to trust again, how to set boundaries, how to speak up for what matters. I'm learning that it's okay to have bad days, that healing isn't a straight path, and that growth can be slow but steady. I'm learning to be patient with myself and to celebrate progress no matter how small. I see someone who is growing stronger, wiser, and more resilient with each challenge faced. Every struggle has taught me something valuable about who I am and what I'm capable of. I'm growing into my own person with my own voice, values, and dreams. I'm no longer trying to fit into someone else's expectations or hide the parts of me that were once scared or hurt. And most importantly, I see someone who is still standing despite everything. I haven't given up. I haven't let the pain define me or control my future. I'm faced loss, betrayal, and hardship, yet I'm here, still moving forward, still believing in better days. I'm not broken, I'm healing, and that makes me strong. Strength isn't about never feeling pain or never falling down. It's about rising again after every fall. It's about carrying your scars with pride because they show what you've been through and how far you've come. It's about embracing your story and the good, the bad, and the in between, and knowing that every part of it shapes who you are. Now when I think about myself, I feel a deep sense of respect and compassion. I'm proud of the courage it's taken to get here. I'm proud of the battles I fought and the wisdom I've gained. I'm proud of the person I'm becoming. The journey isn't over, and I know there will be challenges ahead. But I face them with a heart that's stronger, a mind that's clear, and a spirit that's unbreakable. Because I've learned that healing is not just about fixing what's broken, it's about growing into the fullness version of yourself, even in the face of pain. That's how I see myself now: a survivor, a learner, a grower, and a warrior, someone who's not just standing but ready to thrive. Chapter 98: The Role of Social Media. Social media was a double edged sword in my life. On one side, it became the stage where some of the worst bullying I ever experienced took place. On the other, it became an unexpected lifelong, offering support, connection, and a voice when I felt most alone. Native, Navigating this complicated space taught me lessons about pain, resilience, and the power of community in ways I never anticipated. The bullying I faced online was relentless. Unlike in person bullying, where you might find moments of re- reprise, social media made the harassment feel consist, and invest. Every notification could bring anxiety. Every tag, comment, or message had the potential to reopen old wounds. The spread of rumors, harsh judgments, and cruel memes made me feel exposed and vulnerable in a way that was hard to escape. The attacks weren't just words, they were shared publicly for anyone to see, mag- magnifying their impact and making me feel like I was being watched and judged by the whole world. What made social media so painful was that the harassment didn't stop. When I left school or went home, it followed me everywhere, in my pocket or on my screen, my quiet moments. The digital world didn't offer a safe space to retreat to, and that made the pain deeper. It wasn't just a passion problem, it became a daily struggle with my mental health, my sense of safety, and my self worth. Yet, amid the hurt and chaos, social media also became a place where I found hope and healing. There were people who saw beneath the criticality, friends who reached out with kindness and understanding when I felt invisible. Some classmates stood up for me publicly, defending me against false accusations and harsh words. And there were strangers too, people I have never met who share their own stories of struggle, offering solid solidarity and encouragement. Those posts, messages, and shared experiences, social media helped me realize I wasn't alone. It connected me with communities where I could express myself without fear of judgment, where people listened and validated my feelings. These connections became a source of strength, reminding me that support could be found in even in places I less expected. Social media also gave me a platform, a space to reclaim my voice. I started sharing my truth on my own terms, setting boundaries but about what I would engage with and what I wouldn't. I learned to block harmful users, mute negative conversations, and protect my mental health. These actions were small victories in a large battle to take control of my narrative. But learning to navigate social media wasn't easy. It took time to understand its impact on my emotions and self image. I had to unlearn the belief that my worth was tied to likes, comments, or followers. I had to remind myself that behind every screen was a real person with their own struggles. I learned that social media, while powerful, is only one part of life, not the whole story. The experience taught me about resilience, the ability to face pain, set limits, and keep moving forward. It taught me about the importance of support systems, both online and offline, and it showed me how technology can be used to build bridges instead of walls. Now, when I use social media, I do so with intention. I engage with people who uplift me, share content that inspires me, and disconnect when it becomes overwhelming. I am more aware of how it affects my mental health, and I prioritize my well being over any additional actions. Social media didn't just shape my past, it continues to shape who I am today. It is a tool that can hurt but also heal, isolate and but also connect. I'm learning to embrace the good it offers while protecting myself from the bad. In the end, social media reflected my journey, a mix of pain and hope, struggle and strength, and through it all, I've discovered the power of my own voice, the value of true support, and the importance of standing tall in a world that can sometimes feel too loud and too harsh. Chapter 99, Getting Ready for College Life. College means a fresh start, but for me, it means even more than that. It's not just a new place or a new school, it's a chance to step into a life I've been building towards toward for years. A life where I'm not defined by the people who tried to tear me down, a life where I get to choose who I am and who I become. When I started packing for college, it wasn't just about grabbing notebooks, folders, and clothes. I found myself thinking deeply about what I truly needed to bring, not just physically, but emotionally. I packed the basics, sure, but I also packed the hard earned lessons that life has taught me. I'm bringing my boundaries with me, the ones I used to feel guilty for having. Now I know they're a form of self respect, not selflessness. I'm bringing my voice, the one I once lost in fear and shame, but slowly rebuilt through writing and speaking my truth. I'm bringing hope, hope that things can be different, that I can grow without fear, that this next chapter will be shaped by me, not by the people who tried to silence me. For a long time, school was a place that made me feel small. Bullies, rumors, betrayal turned classrooms into battlegrounds, but this time it's different. I choose this school because I believe it's a place where I can breathe, a place where I can be myself without having to look over my shoulder, a place where the next version of me can take shape, someone stronger, more confident, and free. As I folded clothes and zipped up bags, I felt the weight of everything I've survived. I remember the live streams, the gossip, the hurtful jokes that haunted me after school hours. I remember crying in silence, wondering if things would ever get better. And now here I was, standing in front of a mirror, packing for college. I made it. I didn't quit. That matters more than anyone knows. But getting ready for college also meant leaving some things behind. The need to explain myself to people who never cared to understand. The fear of not fitting in, the urge to shrink myself just to keep the peace. I'm not carrying those things anymore. I'm replacing them with pride, clarity, and self worth. College is a big unknown. I know I'll face new challenges. There might be days I feel out of place, days I miss home, or days when the past tries to creep back in, but I'm not going in empty handed. I'm bringing courage, the kind that grew inside me during the darkness times. I'm bringing stories that matter, even if some people try to erase them. I'm bringing a heart that's been burst, but still believes in new beginnings. I'm also bringing the people who lift me up. My sister who reminded me I'm worth fighting for. My mom who never stopped believing in me. My true friends who showed up when I needed them the most. Their love is packed with me too, carried not in bags but in my split. They helped me get here, and I won't forget that. This is more than just a move to a dorm room. It's a move into adulthood, independence, and possibility. It's me turning the page not to forget what happened, but to finally begin a new chapter written by my own hand. A chapter full of discovery, healing, and maybe even joy. So, yes, I packed pens and highlighters, I packed my laptop and my class schedule, but I also packed strength. I packed survival. I packed hope. And with all that, I'm ready not just for college life, but for everything that comes after it. Because I'm not starting over as someone new. I'm arriving as who I've always been, just finally ready to grow without being held back. Chapter 100: What My Younger Self Deserved. He deserved kindness, not cruelty. He deserves soft mornings and peaceful afternoons. He deserved to walk into classrooms and lunchrooms without his heart racing. He deserves to rush his hand without fear of laughter. He deserved compliments without strings. He deserved safety, not just from bullies, but from the fear that lived in his own chest. He deserved the freedom to be a kid. He deserved hugs instead of stares. He deserves friends who included him without questions. He deserved teachers who saw more than test scores, who saw his effort, his heart, and his need to feel like he mattered. He deserves classmates who didn't whisper, laugh, or roll their eyes when he walked past. He deserved the chance to feel like he belonged. He deserved the anxiety that made his stomach twist every morning. He deserves the whispers in the hallway, the screenshots, the rumors, or the jokes that weren't funny. He deserved he didn't deserve to be told he was too sensitive when all he wanted was to be treated with basic respect. He didn't deserve to be taught that his voice was important. He deserved people who asked, "Are you okay?" and meant it. He deserved someone noticed when he was quieter than usual. He deserves someone to see through the forced smiles and asks again, "What's really going on?" But he got silence instead. He got people looking away. He got used to do the aches. He got so good at pretending that even he started to believe he was fine. And though I can't go back to protect him, I can protect him now. I see that younger version of myself, the boy who just wanted peace, who just wanted fairness, who just wanted to be loved for who he was. I see him in every moment I doubt myself. I hear his voice when I hesitate to speak up. I feel his fear when I walked into a room wondering if I'll be judged. But I also carry his courage because that boy survived. He got through the days he thought he couldn't. He kept showing up, he kept dreaming, and even everything around him told him to give up. He stayed kind, even when the world wasn't kind to him. And because of him, I'm still here. So now everything I do is for him. Every boundary I set, every truth I speak, every time I choose peace over chaos, I do it because that's what he needed. Every time I defend myself or walk away from something toxic, I do it in his name. Every time I reminded myself that I deserve better, I'm really telling him that he always did too. I'll keep choosing relationships that are gentle and friendships that are real. I'll keep pursuing the future he once dreamed of. I'll live with purpose, not perfection, with compassion, not bitterness. I'll become the person he needed back then. Someone who listens, someone who stays, someone who believes. Because my younger self didn't just deserve better, he still does. And I'll carry him with me always, not as a scar, but as a reason to never stop growing, never stop healing, never stop loving the boy who never gave up, even when the world told him to.